So, how are you today? I hope you're all well. We bless God for this period. Yeah, we bless Him for His provision, for His protection, for all the good things that He has done for us. We've been blessed so much by Him. He has kept us safe. I mean, people have been affected severely by this pandemic. Yes, some people probably by age, others because they had a comorbidity, an illness, alongside. So if you're here and you're breathing fine, you're not breathing through a ventilator, uh, you need to give thanks to God. You need to give thanks to God for his provision, for his protection, for keeping us even in this tough time. And let's remember, this too shall pass. Yes, it's only for a while. Hello, I hope you're well and that you're doing fine. Yes. So today I want to share about a topic called tough times don't last. Yeah, tough times don't last. Many a times we all go through times that are difficult, times that are not comfortable in our lives. Yeah, but I just want to encourage each and every one of us to hang in there, to hold on, and to always remember that the tough time will not last, and that it will come to pass. Yes. Um, in the Bible, we see in the book of Exodus, we see how the Israelites went through suffering in Egypt. Yes, they were treated as slaves in that land. They had to do all the hard work. Yes, they had to undergo slavery. They were working the fields. They were doing the chores because they were foreigners in the land and there were many in number. So the Pharaoh at that point decided that they had to be enslaved. Yes, but that's not the plan that God had for them. Yes, God had a better plan for them because they were children of God. Yeah, so God picked upon Moses as the person who was going to lead the Israelites out of slavery. Yes, and even when Moses tried to persuade Pharaoh to let go of the children of God, he was still hesitant. He didn't want to let them go because they were doing all the work and they were benefiting from that. Yes, probably they were earning from the work that they did, and so he didn't want to basically let them go. But Moses kept encouraging the children. He kept encouraging the children of God that that was not what God intended for them, to be slaves, and that God would eventually lead them to the land that He had promised them. Yes. So even when we are going through tough times, even when we are going through difficult times, maybe it's a sickness that you're suffering. Maybe it's right now we're going through a pandemic and people's businesses have been severely hit, yes, because of the COVID-19. But I just want to encourage each and every one of us that this season shall pass. God did not intend for us to go through this kind of suffering. Many people have lost their loved ones to COVID-19, and I just want to encourage them to hold on to God, to find comfort in God, yes, because this is only for a short time, this is only temporary, and it will pass. God will make a way. God will make a way for us. Yes, let us hold on. It's a bit tough. It's a bit tough, especially when it comes to losing your loved ones. But when we hold on to God, when we hold on to God, find our comfort and strength in God, He will guide us. And I believe God is able to provide a solution for us even in this pandemic. Yes, I still believe that He's able to heal us. There are people who are healing from the pandemic. Yes, so God is able to heal us. God is able to give wisdom to the doctors who are trying to come up with vaccines, and I believe the vaccines that will be found will be effective. Right now, some are maybe 80% or 70% effective, but I believe vaccines will be found and that will be 100% effective. And I believe that this COVID-19 will come to pass. It will be a thing of the past. So I want to encourage each and every one of us to hold on, to hang in there, and to know that this is only temporary. Yes. We see the story of the Israelites, that God eventually led them out of the land of Egypt, and they had to cross the desert. They had to cross the desert and go over to the land He had promised. And then they came to a place where there was the Red Sea. And because Moses was leading them out, Pharaoh was not so happy. So Pharaoh sent his men to chase after them so that they can come back and still be slaves. So as they were heading and they were getting out of Egypt, they got to this place where there was a sea, and they wondered how they would cross that place. But because of their trust in God, because of their faith in God, yes, God was able to make a way for them. Yes, God parted the Red Sea. Yes, when Moses placed his rod over the sea was able to part, and it created a path in between the sea, and they were able to cross. And there were many in number, and they were able to cross over to the other side. And when the Egyptians kept chasing them and trying to get a hold of them so they could send them back to Egypt, they came to that place where the children of God had crossed. And when the Israelites had finished crossing, these people tried to cross over that place that God had parted, that was in the middle of the sea. The sea turned back, the path turned back into a sea, and when the Egyptians were in that place, they got swallowed by the sea. It turned back into the sea. So we see that that is one of the miracles that God did for the children of God, and destroyed their enemies, the Egyptians, who were trying to chase them and send them back to Egypt. Yeah, and we see that God led them to the land that He had promised them, the land of their forefather Abraham. Yes, the land that He had called Abraham to go. That is where God sent the children of God, the land of Canaan. So we see that God had good plans for them, and much as they went through suffering, it was just for a temporary time. So I want to encourage each and every one of us. Yes, COVID-19 is tough. Many people have lost their jobs. Many people's businesses have been affected, and it's a difficult time. Yes, some people have started businesses with hope of earning income, but they don't have customers. People don't have as much money due to the pandemic. You know, they had to go through the lockdown, and some businesses are not essential, so people generally were affected countrywide. Yes, and it has not been an easy time for each and every one of us, but I want to encourage us that it's only for a short time, it's temporary, it will pass, and God will intervene in our situation. God will pull through for us. Yes, and we shall give testimonies. We shall give testimonies of how God has delivered us. Yes, just like the children of God, when God delivered them from the slavery they were going through in Egypt, they were able to give testimonies of how God had been good, of how God had delivered them, of how God had saved them from that suffering that they were going through. Yes, even us today, we shall be able to give testimonies of how God saved us from the pandemic, of how God provided for us in the lockdowns, of how God delivered us, from the pit of hell. Yes, the Bible says, even if we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we will fear no evil, for the Lord is with us. Yes, even though we go through tough times, even though we go through difficult times, let us hold on to God. Let us hold on to God, because He's able to deliver us. He's able to save us from this tough time that you're going through. So I want to encourage each and every one of us. Let's hang in there. Let's hang in there and know that this too shall pass. Yes. Let us not give up on God. God should be our number one in everything. Yes, God is our number one. Even in this pandemic, even in this lockdown, God is our number one. He's the one who guides. He's the one who provides. He's the one who delivers us. Yes. So let us hang in there. Let us know that this tough time will not last. It's only temporary, and eventually we shall get through it. We shall give testimonies of how God has been good, of how God has healed us, of how He has provided for us. Yes. So I want to encourage each and every one of us to hang in there and hold on to God. Yes. Let us keep the faith. Let us be strong in our faith. Yes. Thank you for listening.